Right, PTM here, Prop the Mic, coming to you on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, getting ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. How you feeling today? Excited?
Yeah, very excited. This is not quite the matchup that I was envisioning at the start of the playoffs, but nevertheless, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's an exciting matchup for NBA fans. I think for the casual fan, maybe not as much, but for NBA people, I think this is a very exciting matchup. It is for me.
Yeah, you got the best player in the league, I would say, in Jokic, going up against what I would say is probably the most locked in player in the league in Jimmy. He's like no interest in holding that Eastern Conference Finals trophy.
Yeah.
Like he shed all of the Eastern Conference gear in the post game locker room speech. He's just like, I'm all finals. We're winning this thing. So we'll see how how that works, right? Like
It's going to be a challenge.
At some point, you go up against too much talent. But listen, the Bucks, great team. Celtics, great team. Knicks, not bad, right? So let's see if they can take down one more big guy.
Yeah, let's see. It'll be interesting. At least.
Yeah, so I was looking at the schedule. Let's start looking at that, right? Because we've been in this like great rhythm in the playoffs. It was like Eastern Conference, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. And then you get, they like kill these guys. They make them play like,
every other day. Yeah.
Then you get to the finals. So game 1's tonight. Game 2 isn't until Sunday.
Right? Yeah.
Game 3 is the following Wednesday. Game 4 is June 9th. That's a Friday. Game 5, if necessary, is a Monday. Game 6 is a Thursday. And then last game, so the season could go as late as June 18th, which is a Sunday. So really spreading this out over like a 2-week period if it does go that long.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, I circled June 9th because there are 2 birthdays on June 9th.
Oh, really?
Both on the Heat. Okay, we like our birthdays.
We do. Starters?
Haslam.
Oh, okay. The opposite of a starter.
43.
Yeah.
And Jovic.
The other Nikola in this series.
Is turning 20. So I think the oldest guy on the team and the youngest guy on the team.
Yeah, I would say.
That'll be a fun game 4. The other funny thing is Jovic is turning 20. Haslam started in the league 20 years ago. So
wow.
Yeah.
And it's a good one to win one for the Gipper kind of game there.
Exactly. All right. So let's talk about tonight's game. Game 1. We got the Heat at the Nuggets. Nuggets are -9 at home. And total is 218.5. So finally, we've got the East and the West blending together. So we get a more respectable total number of points. Like we were dealing with these like 205, 206s on the Eastern Conference game. So
yeah,
218 sounds pretty good. These two teams met twice this year. Once was back in December. The Nuggets won that at home, 124-119, so a 5-point win. And then they met again in February, and the Nuggets won that also in Miami, 112-108. So 2 relatively close games. And Jokic had a triple double in both. Obviously.
Oh, surprise! I think they've actually won 6 straight going back the last 3 years against Miami.
Yeah, but I was surprised by the discrepancy, right? Like especially that home game, they only won by 5 points. So tighter games.
The spread was 1.5 though in that game.
Okay.
So that tells you something, but.
And also, Hero in that first game led the scoring on the Heat side with 26 points.
Yes,
so
he did.
That's a big loss there. And in the second game, Jamal Murray was out. So that's obviously a big loss there.
Yeah.
So All right. So what?
I'm hearing. Sorry to interrupt. I hear they're targeting Hero for Game 3 possibly. So
Yeah.
back in Miami. So that'd be an interesting wrinkle to put into the series for sure.
I mean, people are like, well, why would you play him? You're playing so well without him. Like, why would you not? Right? Like, even if you play him
Especially,
15, 20 minutes, just have him
mm,
go out there, shoot some threes. He adds an element to your team that you don't have right now.
yeah, for sure, and especially given the minutes that they played. I mean, I guess we're gonna get into the matchups here. I could start there unless you had something else to
No, let's dive
throw out
into it.
there. So I just think matchup wise, I think they'll need Hero. Jimmy's played 750 minutes this postseason. Bam's played 717. You compare that to the guys on Denver. Jokic has played 577, Murray 580, AG 528, MPJ 501. So you got
Wow.
a 200-minute discrepancy there, which is they're gonna that bill's gonna come due to pay at some point where they're just gonna run out of gas. So that's I'm uh, I'm playing the Heat very cautiously in this game one. The history of teams coming off a game 7 win in the following game one is not good at all. I forgot to write down the stats, but it's really bad. I don't know about the spread. The Heat have been pretty good, I think, against the spread this season. So I don't know about the 9 points. It seems like I have a sense of a blowout here, but I'm very hesitant on the Heat. Is where I want to start.
Yeah, I agree. And I
Yeah.
think as a general statement before we dive into picks or anything, this is game one, right? We
Yeah.
don't really know what's going to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to give out a bunch of stuff, but play cautiously today. Our ability to understand how this matchup is going to work will be a lot better in game 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's opportunities in game 1 that you won't necessarily see as much in game 2 and 3,
Yeah.
but it's a long series, so tread lightly up front.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Miami run 8 or 9 guys out there today, like test out some different looks. It would be my feeling that they kind of have their sights set on trying to take game 2 after another 3 days rest at altitude and kind of take this game easy. It is the finals, and of course you want to go out there and win. But I think if there was obviously ever a game to kind of maybe get Jimmy and Bam and some of these guys a little extra rest, test out some looks with Highsmith and see what Love can do, see what Zeller can do, see how Zeller looks maybe on Jokic, stuff like that. I think this would be the game. So I think minutes will be trending down slightly for some of the big guys here. So that's where my
Yeah,
head's at. Yeah.
I
All
agree.
right.
All right.
What side do
So
you want to start on?
let's start on the Heat side. Let's get that over and done with since you don't have a lot on that side.
Okay. I said I don't have a lot, but I think I might have one of my more favorite plays of the day here. So I like Jimmy assists here over 5.5 assists. Um, he's done it in 3 straight games against Denver, I believe, with
Yes.
9, 8, and 8. So just crushing it. So I went back. You can go into cleaning the glass and look at assist percentages. Which I like to take a look at. In that December game, he was 30.8 assist percentage. It means he assisted on 30% of his teammates made buckets. That February game, he's up to 53%. That's in the 99th percentile. You want to go back to last year in November, 47.1%, also 98th percentile. And then they played in April of last year, April of 21. 47.4. So consistently in like the 90th percentile when he goes up against Denver in assist percentage. So I like that. The line's 5.5. It's juicy at minus 145. So I'm going to shop it around a little bit. But I feel like if there's a game for Jimmy to for the usage rate to maybe come down a little bit, for him to not take as many shots, I feel like this might be it here. He's had some success in game 1s. I looked at game 1. I think the Knicks series he didn't get there, but the Boston and Milwaukee series, I think he had 11 assists in game 1 versus Milwaukee. Um, he's
I
also got
agree.
nice. What was that?
I said I agree. I had Jimmy assist as well.
There you go. All right.
I think he's 6 for his last 9. You mentioned 3 for his last 3, 6 for his last 9. If you can find a way to bring it down to 5 assists, I like that even better because he's 8 for his last 9. So I think that would be good. I was looking at, if you want to bring it down to 5 assists, you can pair that with 2 steals. 5 assists and 2 steals gets you to plus 115. He's 9 straight games in the playoffs in away games with 2 steals. And I think Denver might come out a little sloppy to start, and they're generally not great at handling the ball. So
Mm-hmm.
that could be another way to bring the line down. You could either do 6 assists and 1 steal, or 5 assists and 2 steals, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to pay the juice.
All right, yeah, that's a nice alternative. I really don't mind the 5.5 here. I also looked. This is a nice game. We haven't been able to do this in a while, but a game to go back to see some 2 days rest splits, which I think
Yeah.
even more so now might be something to key in on here because they've been doing these every other day for so long, especially the Heat. So on 2 days rest, he's cleared this in 9 of 12 when he's played 30 minutes. And 8 of 9 this season when he's played 33 plus minutes, which should not be a problem here, averaging 8 assists per game in those 9 games on 2 days rest with 33 plus minutes. So I'm liking this play a lot.
All right, good. Anybody else on the Heat side?
I got a lean here on, I'm kind of feeling a Bam under points, under 16.5 points is minus 110. I think that Miami's got no choice but to play him like 42, 44 minutes. I think they just don't have anyone else to any bigs to put out there. So he's going to have a lot of responsibility here. He's 0 for 5 this season, clearing this line when he's played 40 plus minutes. He's either going to be defending Jokic or he's going to be roaming, that free safety type position. He's going to be exhausted. I just don't see it. Those 2 matchups, the matchup in February, he put up 111.8 points per 100 shot attempts. That's 40th percentile, not great. Again, in December, he was in the 44th percentile with 116 PSA. So I think it's a lean. It's not a heavy play, but I'm leaning Bam under.
Yeah, I like that as well. Although I would say
He's had success, I say. Yeah,
22 points and 19 points against Denver this year. What's probably a better play? Let me know your thoughts. Is under his PRA.
Yeah.
The points in the playoffs, he's got a 45% hit rate, so not very good. But the PRA is a 30% hit rate. So I don't see him grabbing a lot of rebounds against Jokic.
No,
so
I'm sold. You just changed my mind. That's the play here.
I think it is, but
yeah,
it could be sweaty because he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misses at 29, and the line set at 29.5. So it could be sweaty. And again, if they get blown out, he won't play those big
he won't
minutes.
Get the minutes. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I like that. You convinced me.
Okay. All right. So that's it. That's all you had on.
That was all I had on the Heat side. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to throw out a play I sent to you yesterday. You cautioned me on this one, but I'm still gonna give it out.
Go for it.
I like Duncan Robinson over 8.5 points, minus 115. He is 10 for 11 in the playoffs when he has 15 plus minutes. He's 10 for 16 in the playoffs when he has 10 plus minutes. So I think he's definitely getting 10 minutes tonight. He had 9 points in 19 minutes when he played against Denver earlier this year. He only played in one of those 2 games. Here's another interesting take on him. So in the playoffs, he is 5 for 6 crossing this line and plays 21 minutes when the Heat lose. Okay. And he is 5 for 12 and plays 16.4 minutes when they win. Averages 12.2 points when they lose and averages 7.9 points when they win.
He gets extra run. Yeah.
So I'm basically saying
I like it. I love it.
Let's advocate for a guy who actually, only plays when they get blown out or plays big minutes. But his minutes were up. I think he played 20 plus minutes in 5 of the 7 games against Boston. And I think he'll be out there, especially if they fall behind, to try to catch them up with some threes.
I love that. I love that. I think, I think that's a really good call. I like it. I don't see Miami winning this game, so why not look at the splits there on these Miami losses? I think it makes a ton of sense. I think that's a very nice play.
Yeah, definitely. And he is blowout proof. He's on the floor in the fourth quarter if they're getting blown out. So if that happens, he'll probably get 20 plus minutes easily. So, all right. Very nice. I think that's it on that side. I had a lean on Strus for 9.5 points, but I really like 9 better than 9.5. He did have 19 points and 4 threes and 23 points and 4 threes against Denver. So he will either put up 6 points tonight or probably put up a monster game. So look for Strus, but that's a lean. I'll probably lay off his 9.5 points.
I'm just looking at Duncan right here. He's averaging almost 14 points a game in his last 5 road playoff games.
Yes, I noticed that too. He's had a lot of success on the road in the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's move on to the Nuggets side. Let's start with our, the guy, Jokic, right?
Yeah.
So we threw out a play last night on Twitter. We liked his over rebounds, 13.5 rebounds is a big line, but he's been averaging over 38 minutes a game in the playoffs. He's 10 for 10 this season at home when he plays 38 plus minutes, and he's 6 for 8 in the playoffs at home. So that seemed like a really good play. We put that one out there. The other thing that we wanted to present as well, correlated play there, was his first quarter. His line for the first quarter rebounds is 3.5. That's minus 145. His 3 games, game ones, he had 5 rebounds against Minnesota.
Yeah.
He had 8 rebounds in the first quarter against Phoenix, and he had 12 rebounds in the first quarter against the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I think I like something. You sent this to me yesterday. But on DraftKings, you can actually same game parlay first quarter rebounds and full game rebounds for the same player, which is kind of crazy because highly correlated.
Yeah.
If you do 5 rebounds in the first quarter and 14 rebounds for the game, you go to plus 225.
Beautiful.
That's pretty nice, right?
That's very nice.
And he's got a high correlation. I think he's done that in all but 3 games where he's had crossed the final game, the final amount. He's also hit the first quarter. So that's play number 1 is Jokic full game rebounds, Jokic first quarter rebounds.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice. You got to take. No, I was just gonna say it's nice. Sometimes you gotta take advantage when DraftKings let you do something like that. This now might be the time to jump on that. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Who else do I like? All right, I'm on Aaron Gordon in this series. I don't know if the starting lineups, I don't think they're out yet, but I don't see them going back to Love and taking Martin out. He's just, he was arguably the best player. Martin will start again. He's got a huge size difference. He starts at power forward. Aaron Gordon's got 50 pounds on him. He's got several inches. Like, he's a beast. And so whether it's Gordon, whether it's Love, whether it's whoever, he's going to have some nice mismatches to attack in this series. So I like his rebounds here. It's 5.5. If you take out that Lakers series, which was kind of different, he was being tasked with guarding AD and just doing a bunch of stuff defensively that kind of took him out of his game a little bit. He's 9 of 10 if you take out the Lakers series in clearing this line this postseason.
Okay.
It's 5.5 rebounds minus 110, if I forgot to say that. So I like that for Gordon. Um, I also like his PRA. It's 20.5 minus 125. He's only 1 for 3 against Miami, but in the 2 misses, he had 20 and 19. So he's like just getting there, and those aren't playoff games, against an exhausted Miami team. I think you also had, in that one of those when he had 20, his primary defender was PJ Tucker, who's not on the Heat anymore, right? So they don't have anyone like PJ Tucker to throw at Jokic and Gordon. So it's a big difference between when they played last season. So I would kind of throw that one out a bit. He's going to see a lot of Martin. He's going to see a lot of Jimmy with the bum ankle. So I'm liking Gordon here on both these plays. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Who's going to be guarding Jimmy? Who do you think?
Who's going to be guarding Jimmy?
Will it be MPJ? Like
I think you'll see some MPJ. I don't know if I love that so much. I think you'll see a lot of Gordon. Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. I like that. That's definitely a buy low opportunity. That could be up to 6.5 come next game.
Yeah. And then just one other, going back to our, it is game one. These we were leaning on these towards the end of the long Boston Miami series, but a parlay on Gordon that I liked was 10 points and 5 rebounds. It's minus 120. The 10 points he's done in 12 of 15 this postseason, and the 5 rebounds 11 of 15. Thought that was a really nice parlay for him. 10 and 5.
I think I like that even better than the 5.5 rebounds.
There you go.
Nice. Good. All right. Who else do you have?
I'm gonna go back to our bubble gambling roots here and go to Mr. KCP. Got anything?
Yes, sir.
Do you have something on him?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at our actual bubble play. 10
9
points.
and 2.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 9 and 2. Yes.
Yeah.
9 and
minus
2.
120.
Yeah, that's not bad. But then I looked at just two threes alone on DraftKings is minus 145. Okay, not great.
Okay.
And then I looked at 3 threes is plus 235 on DraftKings. So I just looked at game ones in the playoffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
3 for 6 versus Minnesota, 3 for 8 versus Phoenix, and 3 for 8 versus LA. So it's not just the 3; it's also the volume. He's averaging 6.8. Against LA, he averaged 6.8 attempts, right, in the last 4 games of that series, or the only 4 games of that series. In the playoffs as a whole, he's averaging closer to 5 3-point attempts. So he really stepped up his 3-point shooting, and then compounded. He also, puts up a minimum of 6 threes in game ones. So I think he's going to have huge volume tonight. I think he's looking at 6 to 8 attempts. So I think I would be willing to even go for 3 threes plus 235.
All right. Nice. 2 plus 230 bets being given out here on PTM. I love it.
Yeah, again, play that one small. Don't put 2 units on that thing. But I think that's a good play. But yes, I do think 2 threes, and 9 points is really good as well if you can get that for minus 120.
Yeah, look at it. The last 5 games he's played against the Heat, 3-point attempts, 6, 8, 4, 4, 3. So he's really he's cleared that line in 4 of the 5 games, averaging almost 3 threes. I like that for Mr. KCP.
The Heat are one of the worst teams in the league at defending the 3 as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a regular season analysis. I don't know if that's held up in the playoffs, but you saw when Boston was on, they just murdered them from 3-point line. So that could happen tonight as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I had one other on KCP here. I liked his PRA also, 14.5. He's done it last 3 of 4 against Miami. The 2 games this season, he had 18 and 24. He's also done his last 5 of 6 playoff games, averaging 20.5 PRA. And this is what I like. Those 2 Miami games, the one in February, he was scoring 160 points per 100 shot attempts. That's 88th percentile. And that game in December, 250 points per 100 shot attempts. That's 99th percentile. So I think he's had some very nice success, very efficient against the Heat. So I would go there as well. Yeah.
Nice. I like that a lot. All right. Who else do you have?
Got to go back to our man MPJ. Got to stay with the three, KCP and MPJ. I like his rebounds. We've been crushing on his rebounds here. It was 6.5. It's up to 7.5, but not bad at minus 106. He's done this in his last 6 of 8 in the playoffs, averaging 9 rebounds. So I think you can go back here, especially against a tired Miami team. He's got height on a lot. Miami plays small, and he's a big dude. Great rebounder. So I think it's a good spot for him here.
Yeah, I agree. Although what I will say is I think the pace of play in the finals is going to be very different than the pace of play in all of the Western Conference series leading up, which means
good point.
More time of possession, less shots in the game, potentially less rebounds. Those rebounds are going to go to Jokic. So, and Gordon. So I personally, and he only put up 6 rebounds in the two matchups against the Heat this year. So I personally was staying away from that. That was one of the ones that I just wanted to observe game 1 and then adjust for game 2. But I get the case. I mean, he was a beast.
Yeah.
So
I think there's gonna be a lot of rebounds in this game. They're gonna have some tired legs on the Miami side. Playing it. They just got to Denver. I think and game ones. I suspect. In general, probably have more rebounding opportunities. I would say.
Yeah. It's the Nuggets are going to be fresh, but they're not going to. They may not be sharp, right?
Yes. Yeah.
they haven't
exactly.
played since May 22nd. So
yeah, good point on both sides.
Time.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So if you don't like the 8 rebounds, I think your 6 rebounds is good, right?
Very good.
Okay, so pair it with 14 points, minus 115. He's done the 14 points in 10 of 13 this postseason when he plays 24 plus minutes. That just knocked out 2 blowouts. So that's minus 115. If you want to take it up to 14 points and 7 rebounds, you get plus 115. He's done the 6 rebounds in 11 of 13. With 24 plus and 7 rebounds in 10 of 13 with 24 plus. So I think that's a nice way to, if the 8 rebounds scares you a little bit, I think he's good for the 14 points. So that's a nice parlay, I think, as well.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything on Murray?
Yeah, but it's I don't know if you were on the rebound and assist parlay.
No, I looked at that, but I was a little concerned about rebounding, like whether how many rebounds he's going to get in this series. But I did look. His line for assists was, I think, 5.5 assists. Again, just like Butler, if you can bring that down to 5 assists, Murray has crossed 5 assists in 14 of 15 games in the playoffs.
Yeah,
one of the most consistent stats of anything. So. Really like that a lot. You could pair that with 1 steal, 5 assists, 1 steal, which he's done in 12 of 15 games in the playoffs. That gives you minus 110. Or as an alternative, kind of like the Butler Tatum play that we were playing last series, you could put Butler 5 assists and Murray 5 assists. That's plus 100.
Okay.
So those
Butler
are some
and Murray. Okay.
Butler 5 assists, Murray 5 assists plus 100.
That's nice.
So
I like that.
Really nice too.
Very nice.
What did you have on Murray?
I had 4 rebounds and 5 assists. The 4 rebounds he's done in 13 of 15 and this postseason, and the 5 assists you just said 14 of 15, and it's minus 112 to put those two together.
Yeah.
So I know we were playing that last series. I love your Jimmy and Murray 5 and 5. I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that like I said, the inspiration came from the last series. We were doing Tatum 5, Jimmy 5 multiple times, and that was cashing fairly consistently. So I think that's another way to attack this.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. What else? Anybody else?
I skipped over. I'm kind of feeling this is somewhat of a hedge. So I had Gordon PRA and I had KCP PRA. I think MPJ also. His is 23.5. is minus 125. He's done his last 7 of 8 games in the playoffs, averaging 26.5. So I think I don't know. I would be a little surprised if all 3 hit. But I think it's good. Two of these 3, I think, will hit tonight. I think I'm liking these the Denver role players here in game 1, and yeah, I just wanted to put that one out before I forgot.
Okay. All right, cool. I think that does it. I had a slight lean on Bruce Brown, 11.5 points as well tonight. He's had some pretty good success against Miami this season. I think he put up 18 and 13 against Miami this year, but he did start one of those games because Murray was out. So, so I, again, there wasn't enough sample to go by that, but I could see Bruce Brown having a pretty decent series. He's certainly going to get any shot that he wants open.
For sure. Yeah. I like that. I'm a little hesitant. I want to see how they play him in this first game, because I think they were leaning on him a bit more with Gordon, not being as involved the last series. So I'm curious to see what kind of run he gets tonight.
Yeah, that's why I had it as a lean. I think that'll be a good game 2 play, but just keep an eye on Bruce Brown, 11.5 points tonight. All right, cool. Whoa.
It's exciting. Right? Yeah, the picks were flowing today. I don't know if it's just because I'm excited for game 1 of the finals or whatever, but I don't know. A lot of plays that I really like here. So, a lot to choose from, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's going to be hard to choose our favorite. So, for those of you who listen to the pod today, good for you, because there's plenty to choose from.